So I know that you do CPS cases, is that correct? Or
I do still some. I used to do many, but they
Okay.
moved them down to the Family Law Center. I still do some.
Okay, so the Family Law Center, and we'll just talk about CPS cases. There should be a presumption that parents are parents. There should be a presumption, if you look at Troxel versus Granville, which whether you agree with it or not, it does talk about that fit parents are presumed to act in the best interest of the children.
Yes.
And too many times I've seen cases where a CPS person doesn't have to have any training necessarily, does not have to ever been married, does not have to have kids on his own or her own, does not have to have a bachelor's
The
degree.
life experience.
It does
yeah.
not have to have much of
Yeah.
anything, and they can come in and they can, in a sense, snatch kids. What are your thoughts regarding that? Because I think that there are a lot of issues with that.
They can do it with permission of a judge. Very
Okay.
rarely, there are a few exceptions where they can do it without immediate permission, but they can put, so one of the things that happens in our court also, because we value the rights of a parent so much,
Right.
we did cut down on the number of removals. We made it more difficult for them
Okay.
to, show us on the surface that we needed an emergency removal.
Okay.
We also made it more difficult for them to keep these children in foster care from their parents.
Good.
And they were returned to their parents or terminated for the ones that had to be at a much higher rate than before. We cut the foster care days from over 500 for kids to under 250.
Okay.
You may not have known that. And that's because we really much treated CPS like anybody else. They weren't special just because they were CPS.
Okay.
We held them to the letter of the law.
Yeah.
And we held the parents the same way. And
Yeah.
we didn't let them move the goalpost for parents.
Yeah.
And we just said we're either going to do this or we're not.
Yeah.
And so they're going home or they're not.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I thought it was very interesting. I sat in on one CPS case, and this CPS attorney was in there trying to take the children away from the father because the mother did not want the children, but there were a couple of girls. And they were trying to say, well, it'd be better for the girls to live with a family, another family, because there was a mother there.
I've seen that before too. I've never allowed that in my court unless there was a reason
Okay.
that the father wouldn't be approved for abuse or
Yeah.
neglect or some other reason.
Yeah.
But yes, I've always presumed that the children should be with a parent.
Okay.
And then if that's not possible, who's the next closest family member?
Okay, great. That's wonderful to hear.
Yes.